m'a réussi aux États-Unis, m'a réussi Saint-Domingue, m'a réussi dans tous les pays du monde. Si Jovenel va me réussir, c'est poison pour le boire. Parce que le pas empêcher de réussir.
Yeah, we back. Quick video. Man, Trump snatching everybody up. Now today, we got an interesting topic. Today we have a Haitian oligarch by the name of Dimitri Vorb has been arrested by federal authorities. Now I'm very satisfied to hear this news because this guy right here, man, this guy was an arrogant bastard. And when it comes to me, I'm an arrogant bastard myself, but you have to understand, when you're an arrogant individual, when the time for your downfall finally arrives, there are those who are going to celebrate, right? Your detractors, those who been preying on your downfall for the longest, right? So me, I'm very satisfied to read this news. Now, if you didn't understand what he said at the beginning of the video, right, because he was speaking in my native language, he said this: I'm going to succeed in the United States. I'm going to succeed in the Dominican Republic. I'm going to succeed in every country in the world. And if President Jovenel Moïse doesn't want me to succeed, then he can kill himself because he cannot stop me from succeeding. Now, he was talking about the former President Jovenel Moïse, the one that unfortunately was assassinated in his home a few years back, right? They had a little, dispute, back in the day when he was in office. So that's why he said what he said, right? So as you can see, arrogant bastard. And I understand it's part of the culture. When it comes to Haitian men, we like to talk shit. When it comes to, black men in general, we like to talk shit. Now, he's not a black man, but due to the fact that he grew up around the culture, rubbing shoulders with black men, the energy kind of rubs off on him as well. Now, one thing we got to understand, right? This individual, I'm not too sure of his origins. I'm not sure if he's like an Arab, Syrian individual, or if he's from like original Haitian stock from like the 1790s, early 1800s, because it's a difference, right? Every Arab, Syrian, Lebanese, Palestinian individual is not what you would classify as a person of mixed race, right? It's a difference. For example, take a look up on the screen. This is the family of Gilbert Bijo, another Haitian oligarch, but he is a Jewish man, right? He is a consul for Israel, right? This guy, he's not of original Haitian stock. He is from the Middle East, right? He's from Syria. Now, take a look up on the screen. This is Dominique Dupuy, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs. She is of original Haitian stock. She is the direct descendant of the great ancestor Bon Dupuy, who was the secretary for both Dessalines and Christophe, right? He was there. So she is of original Haitian stock, revolutionary stock. She is a Haitian woman, right? She's not an Arab, right? So it's a difference. There are those who are from the Middle East and there are those who are of original Haitian stock. It's a difference. Now, for outsiders, it might be difficult to tell, but when it comes to us, we are able to differentiate between who is of original Haitian stock, who was there back in 1797, and who came to the country as immigrants in like 1912 or something like that, or like 1899, right? We know the difference. We can tell the difference. But anyways, let's get into today's topic. Take a look up on the screen. From U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement, a federal investigation determined that Haitian illegal alien Dimitri Vorbe engaged in a campaign of violence that contributed to the destabilization of his home nation. On September 23rd, ICE arrested Dimitri Vorbe, an illegal alien and a citizen of Haiti, for violating the Immigration and Nationality Act and contributing to the destabilization of Haiti. This case was investigated by ICE's Homeland Security Investigations and Enforcement and Removal Operations with the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate. The Department of State determined that Mr. Vorb's presence or activities in the United States would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States, providing a basis for the charge of removability. Specifically, officials determined that he engaged in a campaign of violence and gang support that contributed to Haiti's destabilization. This demonstrates the Trump administration's firm commitment to protecting the American people, advancing our national security interests, and promoting regional security and stability. Now, listen, unfortunately for him, right now, the neo-Nazis are in office, right? So the neo-Nazis don't care if you got light skin, right? See, maybe the Democrats might have let you pass. Oh, he got light skin. No, he's sophisticated. He's a man of high society, right? But the Republican Nazis in office, they don't care about that. You just a dirty Haitian. You just a dirty Haitian to them. Now let's continue. Let's get to know the individual, the man of the hour. Mr. Dimitri Vorbe, a Haitian entrepreneur who served as executive director and vice president of Sogenaire. Now, Sogenaire, I believe that was his company. That was his family business. Translated to English, it's just known as the General Energy Company. In October 2019, the Haitian government hired lawyers to represent the state in disputes over contracts with private electricity suppliers, including Sogenaire. Vorb's company twice declined official invitations to respond to the government's inquiries. As a result, an arrest warrant was issued against him. Later that year, he left Haiti and went into exile in the United States. Now, like I said, the Republican neo-Nazis are in office, so they don't care about you guys being men of culture and men of high society and men of prestige. They don't care. You're just a dirty Haitian, like I said. So a couple months back, another Haitian oligarch, another prominent individual in Haitian society, was also arrested and detained by ICE. Take a look up on the screen. Gentleman to the right by the name of Reginald Boulos. Take a look up on the screen. Department of State confirms the arrest of a Haitian businessman, Reginald Boulos, for destabilizing Haiti. Now, do I care that Trump really cares about these guys' role in destabilizing Haiti? No, he just throwing them out just because, just throw them out. Who cares? Like I told, the Nazis are in office, right? The neo-Nazis are in the building, right? The white supremacists are in the building. So just throw them out just cause, right? They don't care. Like, truthfully, I mean, I'll take it though. I'll take the victory though. But what I'm saying is Trump is not doing this out of, generosity or goodwill. He's just doing it because everybody's getting rounded up. So, just is what it is. Now, I want to go into a brief history, right? How did these guys from the Middle East get over here, right? Get over here into the country, and how did they accumulate the level of influence that they now enjoy, right? So I want to go into that as well, right? Because when it comes to us, we actually have our forefathers and ancestors that were able to see into the future, and they saw what could take place, right? And they tried to prevent these guys from, getting their fangs into the country's economy, but unfortunately, things went a different way. But anyway, take a look up on the screen. The first contingent of Christian Arab immigrants arrived in Haiti back in 1891. By 1903, when they were barred from entering the country, around 10,000 had settled in the coastal cities, yet a majority did not apply for Haitian citizenship, even though it was easily obtained and encouraged by the law. Between 1891 and 1903, just 159 Arab immigrants opted for Haitian citizenship. The nationality issue undermined Haitian society in that nationality determined who had recourse to external diplomatic or military force. Occasionally, members of the same family were variously French, German, British, and American. Finally, in 1905, as anti-Arab sentiment reached its paroxysm, the Haitian government curtailed Syrian immigration, a decision at the time understood to prevent all Arabs from settling. In the Haitian press and during political debates concerning the Syrian problem, Arab immigrants were denounced as birds of prey, bloodsuckers, and vultures. The anti-Syrian and anti-Arab tract deprecated the Levantine immigrants and demanded stripping Haitian citizenship from them who had acquired it and expelling them. Despite the disparagement, these immigrants would thrive through the years. Eventually, they entered the ranks of the mixed-race elites, with whom they share control of Haiti's important financial sectors, especially import and export trade. Haitian elites and the political class sometimes feared that foreign merchants, by virtue of their external connections, capital, and commercial influence, could undercut native businesses, escape regulation, or draw upon foreign protection or diplomatic power. Thus, there was a sense among nationalist-minded Haitian actors that protecting native traders and citizens required curbing the sway of foreign merchant elites. Now, we got to talk about the great ancestor NelsonAmadeus Leconte, because he was one of the main ones on the front line who was able to see into the future and understood that if we don't get the problem situated right now, we're going to have a bunch of, corrupt individuals that are going to be trying to impose their will on our nation's economy and doing the bidding of foreign powers. And when he was president, he put policy in place to protect the native Haitian citizen, right? The one that was actually there back in 1797, back in 1799, 1803, right? The original Haitian stock, right? Over these foreigners that just hopped off the boat from Syria and Lebanon and Palestine and wherever they came from. Now, if you were black, right? If you were a person of African descent, there was no problem. There was no issue. Come to the country. You are family. You are brother. You are sister. But if you're not black, you're a foreigner, right? You're not allowed to own land and nothing, right? You can't marry our women. We're not recognizing your children. None of that, right? But if you are a black man or a black woman, you are family. You get citizenship. You get first dibs, right? That was the consciousness of the Haitian, government for the first century of the country's existence. Now, anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about the great ancestor NelsonAmadeus Leconte. He was the great grandson of Dessalines. Yes, this was Dessalines' grandson. So this is original Haitian stock, right? NelsonAmadeus Leconte, it doesn't get more original Haitian stock than this. When Dessalines is your direct forefather, listen, original Haitian stock. Now, let's continue. Returning from exile in 1911, Leconte gathered a large military force. After leading the revolution that ousted President Simon and brought Leconte back to Port-au-Prince in triumph on August 7, 1911, President Leconte was unanimously elected by the Congress on August 14th with a 7-year term. Upon attaining the presidency, he instituted a number of reforms, paving streets, increasing the pay of teachers, installing telephone lines, and decreasing the size of the army. Collier's Weekly argued that in August 1912, that it was generally admitted that Leconte's administration was the ablest and the cleanest government that Haiti has had in 40 years. Now, as you can see, shout out to the ancestor, he loved his people and his people loved him. Now, let's continue. Levantine shopkeepers and traders often faced extra taxes, licensing restrictions, and harassment by the officials, and even expulsion. This created deep resentments in the Arab immigrant community, which by then numbered a few thousand. President Leconte pursued a discriminatory policy toward the local Syrian population, an already persecuted minority group, which one historian described as constituting the opening wedge of the American economic conquest of Haiti in the early 1900s. We're going to talk about that later. Prior to ascending to the presidency, President Leconte had promised to rid Haiti of the Syrian population. In 1912, Leconte's foreign minister released a statement stating that it was necessary to protect nationals against the disloyal competition of the Easterner, whose nationality is uncertain. A 1903 law aimed specifically at Syrians, limiting the immigration levels and commercial activities of foreigners, was revived, and the harassment of Syrians that had been prevalent in the first few years of the 1900s was resumed. Now, time out. As you can see, back in the days of President NelsonAmadeus Leconte, you see the same way Donald Trump and his administration is going around, rounding up individuals. Everybody who's not white, get up out the country, right? Everybody not white, get up out of here, right? See, President NelsonAmadeus Leconte, he was the opposite. Everybody not black, get up out of here. If you black, you can stay, bro. Oh, you from Jamaica? Okay, you can stay, right? Oh, you from the Bahamas? Okay, you can stay. Oh, you from Louisiana? Okay, you can stay. Oh, you from where? Lebanon, Syria? Get the hell out the country. Let's continue. President Leconte was killed in a massive explosion at the National Palace in Port-au-Prince. The official story was an accidental ammunition explosion, but many contemporaries suspect sabotage or political assassination. Right now, that's one of those mysteries. Nobody really knows who was, behind the assassination of the illustrious ancestor NelsonAmadeus Leconte. The National Palace just exploded. Right? Imagine the White House just explode, and then everybody inside, and hundreds of soldiers die, and nobody knows what happened. That's what happened to NelsonAmadeus Leconte. The whole palace exploded, and nobody knows who did it. Makes no sense. Anyways, contemporary newspapers and later historians record that some Syrian merchants openly rejoiced, reportedly setting off fireworks, singing, and making public remarks celebrating the president's death. Right? Now, like I said, nobody knows for sure who did it, but we do know that there were celebrations amongst the Arab immigrant community, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories that those from their community were behind the assassination, because he was putting so much pressure on them that many believed that they were the main ones that had the incentive to eliminate him and basically, remove his administration. And on top of that, when it comes to Haitian culture, we don't blow things up, right? That culture of blowing things up and explosive devices, that come from y'all in the Middle East, right? That's y'all in Syria. That's y'all in Lebanon. That's y'all over there blowing things up and strapping bombs to your chest. We don't do that in Haitian culture. If we want to topple a government, back in those days, you gather the troops, right? You gather your army and you march on the capital. You march on Port-au-Prince. You march on the palace at the head of your troops. That is what President NelsonAmadeus Leconte did when he came to power, right? He gathered his troops. He came back from exile and he led the cavalry, straight down to the palace, and he took power by force. That's what you do, right? You grab your weapon, you grab your sword, you go to the battlefield, and you take power. We don't set explosive devices. We don't set bombs, and we don't blow palaces up. We don't do that, right? So even though nothing has been confirmed, like I said, that come from y'all culture. That Middle East blowing things up, that came from y'all in the Middle East, right? So that's why, many people believe that it was your community that was behind the assassination of President NelsonAmadeus Leconte. But nothing has been confirmed, like I said. Anyways, let's continue. Dozens of Syrians were rounded up and placed under arrest. Some were expelled from Haiti altogether. Others faced fines, and many saw their businesses shuttered or lost their licenses to operate. Now, listen, the government came down with a heavy hand, because after President Leconte died and y'all started celebrating, we had to come down with the hammer. We had to come down with the hammer. We already didn't even want you guys in the country, but now you celebrating when a son of the soil has been assassinated? Bro, it came down with the force of God on y'all. God damn. Bunch of y'all went to prison. Now, let's go to the United States invasion and occupation back in 1915, right? Take a look up on the screen. Historians note that these events deepened the alienation of the Levantine merchant community and reinforced a pattern of seeing them as foreigners whose loyalty could be questioned. The United States military occupation from 1915 to 1934 marked a decisive turning point in the country's political economy. Before the Marines landed, Haiti's foreign commercial landscape had been dominated by French and German trading houses. These firms financed the export of coffee and imported manufactured goods. They extended credit to planters and urban traders and controlled much of the shipping on European steamers and served as the main link between Haitian producers and overseas markets. German merchants penetrated even deeper into the Haitian economy by marrying into prominent Haitian families. These marriages allowed them to acquire land and other privileges in a country that had long banned foreigners from owning land. Alarmed by this pattern, Haitian lawmakers moved to block it. In the late 19th century, they passed legislation and amended the Constitution so that Haitian citizenship could be transmitted only through the father, and the father had to be of African descent. The change was meant to ensure that children of foreign men could not automatically claim Haitian citizenship or inherit any land. Now, big up to the ancestor, Antonin Furman. Shout out to the ancestor who made that change to the Constitution back in the late 1800s that said that you could only be a Haitian citizenship if your father was a black man. If your father was an Arab, if your father was a German, too bad, too sad. Too bad, so sad. You're not a Haitian, right? I'm sorry to tell you, if your father was not a black man with that blood of Africa in his veins, he's not a Haitian. You're not a Haitian, right? That was the law back in the late 1800s up until the American occupation when the United States government changed the Constitution. But before that, it was a time where you were only classified as a Haitian if your father was a black man. He could have been a black man from anywhere in the world. He could have been a black man from Jamaica. He could have been a black man from Tennessee. He could have been a black man from the Congo, but he had to be a black man. If he was not a black man, you were not a Haitian. You are a stateless infant, right? You are a stateless child, right? Your mother could have been Haitian. That's fine. But if your father was not a black man, we don't recognize you, buddy. And the reason why that law was on the books is because you had these Germans coming into the country. You had these Arabs coming into the country trying to circumvent the laws of owning land, because if you are a foreigner, if you are not a black man, you cannot own land. So they thought, okay, I got a bright idea. I'm going to marry a black woman, right? And then my child, who is a Haitian citizen, can now own land and do business and engage in commerce. That way I can circumvent the laws. So Antonin Furman had to go back to the Constitution and say, you know what? They playing games. They trying to finesse. They trying to scam. You know what? Let me add this to the Constitution. You are not a Haitian if your father is not a black man. Oh, man, we killed the game with that one. Antonin Furman killed the game with that one, man. Stop all they finessing. Stop all the scamming. Now, let's continue. When the United States invaded in 1915, it set out to reorganize Haiti's finances and secure American commercial interests. Washington took control of the customs and the National Bank. The presence of U.S. Marines discouraged European powers from exerting the influence they had enjoyed in the previous century. Haiti's economy began to orient itself towards North American shipping routes and markets. A major break with the past came with the Constitution of 1918, drafted under American supervision. Like I said, the United States, they invaded and they changed the whole Constitution. It abolished the century-old prohibition on foreign land ownership. So the first thing they did, they changed the law. The law that said that white men could not own land, they said, listen, we changing that. White men can own land here, right? That's the first thing they did. They said, you know what? The first thing we changing, white men are allowed to own land here, right? Y'all been keeping us out for over a century. Now we can own land here now. And back during that time, I believe the president of the United States was Woodrow Wilson. Staunch white supremacist, proud, out and about, unabashedly, unashamed white supremacist, Ku Klux Klan sympathizer. I think he had Klansmen that would come visit him at the White House, right? Big white supremacist was in power, right? Woodrow Wilson, OG white supremacist, Klansman. So you already know he took personal pleasure in subjugating the Haitian people and massacring the Haitian people. Anyway, let's continue. Foreign land ownership, allowing white foreigners to own land, including Americans. It also overturned the earlier nationality rule by once again recognizing the children of foreign fathers as Haitian citizens. So not only did they abolish the law that said that white men could not own land. They changed that. They said white men can now own land here. They said we are also changing the nationality rule, right, established by Antonio Furman, and we are once again recognizing the children of foreign fathers. So now if white men want to come to the country and they want to, have kids, then our kids are going to be recognized as Haitian citizens. They can engage in the economy and they can hold political office, right? So they just came and just abolished everything the black man established. And these Syrian, Lebanese, Arab immigrant families, they already had connections with the United States because they might have had family members that probably migrated to the United States. So they had already started establishing their connections with American commerce back then during the occupation. So as time went on, these connections simply strengthened. That's why now some of the biggest Haitian so-called oligarchs are very tied into U.S. commerce. Well, at least now until Trump decided to kick him out and kick him out the country. But up until now, they've been heavily protected by the United States government, right? They've been allowed to, own properties and big bank accounts for a very long time. Untouchable, right? So this relationship between the so-called Arab, foreign Syrian, Lebanese, whatever, economic class and the United States government, it goes way back. Now, when it comes to Trump and the guys in his administration, they don't care about those things, right? They're not impressed by that. These guys are white supremacists. They don't care about that. When it comes to, Hillary Clinton and things like that, okay, they'll entertain you. But these guys in office right now, they don't care about that. Like I said, to them, you're just a dirty Haitian to them. It doesn't matter if you're light skinned. To them, you're just a dirty Haitian. So you're not getting no love from the Trump administration. And that's just what it is. So anyways, I'm not going to be here too long. It's your boy Neferkari Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. Second single off the next project, The Spy in Bamako. Subscribe to the Patreon. Pin comment at the top, link in the description, NTD 1814, and I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like it's me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yana in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in a savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell him get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wishing we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater.